Es domāju, ka mēs varam sākt droši vien. Tad jau pievienos sīvēt, kas mums trūkst, mums vēl kaut kas trūkst.
Jā, labi. Tad, kā solīju, pavisam īsi sākumā ievadvārdi no manis, no Jāņa Zanderta, kurš pārstāv šī gadījumā Evosēls. Sākumā gribu pateikt lielu paldies Latvijas Pašvaldības Savienībai un Gunteram īpaši par iespēju šeit šobrīd būt un runāt un stāstīt un rādīt par Norvēģijā, teiksim tā, izgudrotu vai radītu un arī uzražotu pretplūdu mobilo sistēmu. Par to, protams, Oistens vairāk un detalizētāk, bet varbūt, lai ir skaidra tā mana loma, šī gadījumā es esmu tikai un vienīgi zimnesis, kas palīdz Haval Engineering šeit Latvijā komunicēt ar potenciāli ieinteresētajām iestādēm, pašvaldībām, uzņēmumiem. Un visa komunikācija, kas kādā veidā varētu attīstīties ilgtermiņā, tad tālāk notiktu patiešo jau ar ražotāju, pēc nepieciešamības, protams, varētu tikt iesaistīti, varbūt, nezinu, ja tas ir nepieciešams. Bet kopumā es esmu tikai un vienīgi ārpakalpojums, kas nodrošina Haval šo te savienojumu un komunikāciju, neko vairāk. Tā kā, jā, ja turpmāk un pēc tam arī būs kādi jautājumi vai nepieciešamība pēc papildus informācijas, tad to var droši jautāt pat taisno Oistenam, tātad ražotājiem. Tikpat labi tur varat arī izmantot manas kontaktus, tā kā tā nav problēma, teiksim tā. Tā kā šobrīd es droši vien došu vārdu Oistenam, mums joprojām ir 30 minūtes, kā es saprotu pareizi, Gunter, jā, tad attiecīgi tā prezentācija tik daudz laika arī aptuveni paņems. Tā kā Oisten, the floor is yours. Take it.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Janis. Thank you for organizing this meeting. Thank you to everyone for your time and the opportunity for me to present our flood barrier. And again, I hope it's okay that I do it in English. I understand that the level of English is quite good in Latvia, kind of like in Norway. But either way, it's a very visual product that speaks a lot for itself. So I have a presentation, which hopefully I'm able to share quite well. Maybe I have to share the whole screen, which I probably do. Let's see if this works. Can everyone see the presentation?
Yes.
Perfect. That's good to see. So we have some videos as well in the presentation, which I'm a little unsure if are going to be able to be shared well over Teams. We'll give it a go, and if it doesn't work, I can just send the videos afterwards for everyone to have a look at. So again, it's a very, very visual system. Yeah, with that said, I think we can just jump straight into it. I guess, is it half an hour until 3:30, right? Perfect. Then, yeah. So to begin the presentation, I guess I can say now we are very, very happy. We're very proud to be able to start all our presentations with pictures from real floods these last couple of years. So there's been a lot of flooding recently, and we're very happy to say that our flood barriers have been used in many European countries. We started in Norway, and we've delivered to Norway, Denmark, Germany, France, and Spain, where I guess currently Germany is our biggest market. But we're expanding to many other places since there are a lot of flooding all over Europe. I mean, all over the world, essentially. So this is what our barriers do. So it's a temporary barrier that stops water. So this is what they do. But to say a little bit about how it does it, is that it is a temporary barrier that is not attached to the ground in any way. It is just put on the ground and it uses the weight of the water to stabilize the barrier. The way it is set up is that it's made of these glass fiber panels that are put together in an L shape, covered in a waterproof polyethylene membrane, supported by a wire to hold everything in place, and also one row of sandbags to make sure that the water goes on top of the barrier to push down and to stabilize the system. And it's comprised of these panels, and all the panels are the same. So for all the pictures, all the videos, everything we have, it's the same panel. And one panel on the ground, one panel on the wall. There's no difference between those panels. So basically what we deliver is one pallets with these plates on them, where you can then set up the barrier very quickly. So from real life experience, it's 100 meters of flood barrier in about 1 hour. So quite fast to install. And also in storage, it's 20 meters per pallet. So we have attempted a video which shows kind of how it's set up quickly. So hopefully the quality will be good enough. How was the quality of the video?
Pretty good, but without sound.
Okay, yeah. I guess I can also just very quickly, if I stop sharing here, we can try something. Can you all see me? Perfect.
Yeah.
So we have, let's see. So this is just a small module, just to kind of show you how it works. So the panels are stacked like this, and then they're connected by just putting this into the hole like that. And then it's supported. So it's quite a simple mechanism, but very, very strong and robust. See if we can jump back into the presentation. There we go. Are we back in the presentation? So we have two heights, 90 centimeters and 120 centimeter tall barrier. And the prices are 348 euros per meter for everything for the 90 centimeter and 448 euros per meter for the 120 centimeter tall system. So it's the weight of the water which stabilizes the system. So it's just kind of the water pressure itself which makes a very, very stable barrier. So 1 cubic meter of water weighs 1,000 kilograms. So on each individual module, you have 1,000 kilograms stabilizing the barrier. So, and again, it's better to show than tell. So we have a little video which shows how it works with water and water with energy, with movement.
Now we're at Glitter Energi's hydroelectric power plant at Pikefoss. We're going to try to set up flood grading here and see if we can tip it.
Faktiski šī video var
We're now down with the flood grading modules we just saw being tested. It's a self-stabilizing system, so it's not anchored in any way. What this means is that now that the water's gone, we can just disassemble the system and it's ready for the next flood.
Sorry, Oystein, I will comment a little bit in Latvian. Būtiski ir saprast to, ka šī sistēma ir noderīga ne tikai lēni aplūstošu teritoriju gadījumā, bet arī, kā redzams, tātad ar straumi un pietiekami ātri plūstošu ūdeni ir iespējams kontrolēt. Tā ir tā galvenā doma. Sorry, Oystein.
Yeah.
No.
That's fine. But we now kind of just looked at the barrier itself in very kind of flat, straight lines. But the real benefit of the system is that it is made up of this one panel that can be configured in different configurations on any type of surface or terrain. So the modules themselves are independent, so they're not connected. So each one just sits next to each other. And then it's the membrane together with a row of sandbags that attaches or adapts it to any unevenness. So here you can see how the water pressure pushes the plastic over kind of the rocks, but you can also make these turns, these curves, how you can make inside turns, external curves, and also if the hill goes up or down, it's very, very flexible. And all this is just, you set up with a single panel that you have. So we have a last video in use, which is in a river, which is the next video, where the rightmost or the module to the far right, to the most right, is put 45 degrees against the rock. So you can see how it can adapt really to any terrain. So here you can see here on the right, it is just 45 degrees against the rock. And then it's the plastic, the membrane, which then makes it waterproof. And then a final point on the membrane is that, so it's a single use. You change the plastic after every use. And here you can see one of the reasons for that. And that's that floodwater is usually very dirty. There's mud, there's, a lot of things that the floodwater brings with it. So this is a photo taken after a flood in 2021. Where you can see the plastic is really dirty, but the system underneath is perfectly clean. And you can see the firefighters in the top there are just putting it back on the pallets, ready for the next use. And then recharging or new membrane is around €4 per meter. So, 400 euros for 100 meters of protection. So it's a very inexpensive and easy to store components. So there's no components on the system which is kind of needs maintenance or which go bad after time. So the barriers themselves will last, 40 years being used again and again. So it's an extremely, extremely durable, reusable system. So here are the use cases. It's flexible. You can put it along a river, for example. That's maybe the classic flood protection, either against rivers or coastlines. But you can also protect individual buildings. So the bottom left there is a municipality protecting a pump station, like a pump house with the barriers. But you can also protect buildings which are much bigger than that. So we, for example, have a couple of factories in Norway and in Germany who then protect the whole factory by making a barrier around the whole thing. And also with speed, you can put it up as fast as you essentially train for. You can then also use it for more, flash flooding situations. But the same flexibility, which makes it very useful for flood protection, makes it also useful for other use cases. So, for example, it's used by quite a lot of firefighters for temporary water storage, primarily in forest fire situation, or in situations where you don't have access to water and you need to store it temporary. So you can very quickly make a pool like this in any size you want. So the one here is around 3 meters by 4 meters, but you can make it much bigger if you need to store even more water. in different areas. And for pollution in rivers, for example, you can dam up a river. If there's an oil spill, diesel or something which is in the river, you can dam up the river. And then you have to make a hole in the plastic membrane underneath the surface of the water to let clean water pass, but to keep the oil kind of in the barrier so that you can pump it away. And finally, the last use case at the bottom there is in Spain, where in Navarra, they wondered if they could use our barriers to stop fish, which you can, because now they put the barriers in the river in Spain between, I think it's February and August every single year to create a temporary waterfall to stop an invasive species of fish from going up the river. And they threaten a local population of mountain trout. So essentially they managed to make a temporary waterfall for 4 months at a time, every single year. And that kind of shows how it's robust, even with overtopping for months at a time and year after year after year. So I think they started in 2021. So they've done it for 5 years now. And finally, again, for forest fires, this is the Norwegian Civil Defense doing an exercise where there's very little water in the forest during a forest fire. So you can see there's a tiny little stream, which they then can dam up to get enough water to extinguish the fires in the forest. But for flood protection, this is a flood in 2023 in Norway, where the municipality of Eidsvoll set up 330 meters in then 3 hours. So that's where, from real life use cases, we see that it's around 1 hour per 100 meters to set it up. And it worked very well. The flood was there for 4 or 5 days before it went away. And there's no problem. There is, however, some things you have to be careful with when using a system like ours. That's that the system itself is waterproof and works very well, but you have to be careful of the conditions of the ground it stands on. If the ground is permeable, water could pass underneath the system. So it goes into the ground, underneath the barrier and up of the ground. For example, also there might be, like pipes, tubes going under the ground, which can let water pass underneath. So in situations like that, you might have to use pumps to deal with the water that passes underneath the system. So that works quite well. Another thing that might have to be thought about with a system like this is that it becomes a tourist attraction, I guess you could say. So it attracts a lot of people. So a lot of people come and look at the barrier, and that could cause troubles. Here it wasn't a big problem, but in this flood in Drammen, there's just a small road behind the barrier, and many people came with their cars to look at the barrier, and it created kind of traffic, a lot of problems, so that they had to actually close the road. So kind of dealing with people, private people, is something that it could be useful to have a plan when it comes to using a barrier like this. So, but this is Drammen, a flood where it actually was 2 floods after each other. They set it up, the flood came, the flood went away, but they left the barriers in place for another 2 weeks, which was good because after the first flood, there was so much water in the ground that as flood number 2 came a second time. So this photo is actually a photo we took during flood number 2. So this is in Görlitz in Germany. They have 830 meters of our barrier, which we delivered to them. And we delivered these 830 meters on 1 car. So here is the how it looks like in transport. So you can fit quite a lot of protection on just one car. So it's 20 meters per pallet. This is how it looks like now. We have some new pallets which are designed for our system specifically to make it much easier to transport and use. So this is everything you need for 100 meters. It's the panels, and inside the box is the membranes, the wires, and also empty sandbags. So we deliver 8 empty sandbags, and this is what we deliver for the 348 or 448 euros that I mentioned. So relatively compact and easy to to transport, and to store. And then we have, I guess the quality wasn't the best for the video. So I guess maybe I can send this video afterwards if you want. I don't know, Yannis, are you able to see the video?
Yeah, we see the video and it's pretty good, I think. But okay. We saw this video before at the start of the presentation.
Yeah. In the start, we saw it very fast forward. Now it's just each step more slower so that you can see kind of the steps and how it's connected. So the two panels are put together very easily, and then the membrane is just folded out like this. And then the wire is attached with these connection points by piercing the membrane and then screwing it into the panels like that. And everything is with your hands. There's no need for machines. There's no need for tools. There's no need for, equipment like that. And then in the back, it's just a hook that is just turned to lock in place. So it's a very, simple mechanisms that are easy to implement. And then it's all locked off and kept in place. And then finally, it's just one row of sandbags, and then the system is in place. Perfect. So I don't know if there are any questions or if anything was unclear, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thanks, Aistin. Ja ir jautājumi, tad droši tagad, ja ne tagad, tad var droši e-pastā.
Man nācās te atkal atslēgties dažiem ČP, bet pateic,
Jelgavai taisam, es varu nosūtīt tāpēc informāciju e-pastā par to, cik tas maksā, un es domāju, ka Jelgavai iespējams vispār ir atsevišķi jēga taisīt šo prezentāciju vēlreiz. Jo man šķiet tas plūdu risks salīdzinoši liels jūsu pilsētā. Jā, Arni noteikti arī.
If I may, then I think in Latvia we have several cities which are like quite regularly flooded, and we see like very good application for such a product, and of course the question is the price level that Yannis for sure will answer on that. But for sure there should be this information passed to our CEOs of the cities and the units who are responsible for civil protection. That's I would say the right target audience for this one, but of course it's very good because we also need to know. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Yes, if I may also ask a few questions. Is this plastic membrane something specific, or I can use any durable enough plastic membrane?
You can use anything, which is also part of the, I guess, preparedness, is that you're not dependent on us to use the system. However, there is quality differences. So we have looked at least in the markets we've been in, there are some quality differences, and the one we deliver is of good quality, and also we can deliver it at a good price. It's not on the membranes that we make our money. For us, it's important that our customers have what they need to have a successful flood protection system. But to answer your question, you could use another membrane if you have one which is strong and suitable for the application.
Okay, and these sandbags, these are multiple use sandbags or once?
Single use. So they're standard small sandbags. We delivered larger sandbags before that were easier to use, but however, after the flood, they become filled with water as well. and they become very, very heavy. So the sandbags we deliver are around 60 centimeters long when they're tied and filled. But there as well, you can use your own sandbags if you have sandbags from before.
And how the sandbags are closed? By tying them off? Or?
Yeah, there's a string. So it's a polypropylene woven sandbag with a tie string attached. So you fill it with around, I believe it's a bit less than 20 kilos. So around like 18, 17 kilos of sand per sandbag, and then you tie it off.
In Latvia, we have so-called national procurement system center, like a database where municipalities and other public institutions can buy goods and services. I believe this could be important addition to the directory of goods we have there, because we have public procurement procedure which is quite lengthy, and if the need is there, it's probably will be quite in short time. So I suggest maybe Guntas can write from association a suggestion to to our state procurement service and publish the ideas that we could include it in directory. Thank you.
That sounds very, very useful. And also it sounds like a pretty efficient way of doing it.
Yeah, Latvia have a pretty good developed e-government system. And one of the aspects is also the procurement system.
And Jānis, if you could just send a quick recap, I know prices were mentioned, but
yeah,
just for us to keep them somewhere in written form so we can find if we need.
I will send a summary of the main things, and at first I will put prices for focus. Yeah, I will do that after meeting.
And probably some delivery times indicative, of course, but also important.
I can say our delivery now, we can deliver to Latvia in around 2 weeks is our delivery time. So everything up to around, probably 1.5 kilometers we can deliver in 2 weeks. So we have quite a lot of inventory as well, and we can deliver fast. We have before we had our warehouse in Norway, but unfortunately Norway is not in the European Union. So every time we send something, there's a lot of paperwork and things like that. But now we have our warehouse in the Netherlands. So now we have quite a big warehouse and inventory in the European Union, which makes delivery much easier than before. So, yeah.
Øystein, this will impact in some way the price, or price will stay the same?
Yeah, no, the price is then for the 90 is 348 euros per meter. For very big orders, there is some possibility of some quantity discount. So, for example, Frankfurt, the city of Frankfurt in Germany, they purchased 2,300 meters 4 months ago, or it was just at the end of last year. So we kind of, for very large orders, we can, we'll of course have a discussion. But for most orders, it's 348 euros per meter for everything included, except the sand. So we can send sand as well, but I think that's an expensive way to do it. And
but I heard the Norwegian sand is much better than Latvia.
Norwegian sand is much better, no doubt about it. So we can discuss that as well.
Okay. Okay. We are fit in time. Gunter, ja tas ir viss, tad mēs nezaksim vairāk jūsu laiku un nosūtīšu visu informāciju tālāk e-pastā vēlreiz visiem. Un gaidīšu arī kādu ziņu droši tālāk e-pastā.
Perfect.
Thank you for presentation.
Thank you so much. I mean, we're quite a lot of people now, but if someone, wants another presentation or something, just talk to Jānis and he can organize something more, and we'd be happy to discuss our solution more.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you, Øystein. Paldies
Thank you
visiem
for your time.
vēlreiz.
Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Mēs tādi reāli apdirsēji esam paralēli, jo kuro reizi.
Okay,
Galvenais visiem tie smaidiņi izlasu, viss smaida.
Nevajag, man liekas, ka šitam tur baigi daudz laika tagad veltīt, vienkārši jāsaprot kanāli, caur kuriem to informāciju nodot tālāk. Manuprāt, pietiekoši kruts risinājums, viegli ieviešams, viss, tur tāds, jā. Man liekas.
Viņš ir ļoti labs tajā brīdī, tad, kad man sākās iet pāri, kad man vajās svētē visu, Lietuvas un visu pārējais Lielupē un tā tālāk. Man tā lielākā problēma, ka es ātri nevar nožūkot, un tad cilvēki netiek ārā. Man atkal jābrauc ar laivām pakaļ, atkal tur tā baigi uznāk, tad uznāk. Un tās tropiskās vētras, diemžēl, kad īsā laikā nolīs ļoti daudz, tādas tagad būs Latvijā katru gadu vien vairāk. Tāds, kas man bija pirms 2 gadiem. Līdz ar to es nevaru tev noprognozēt, ka man tagad jāved tie cilvēki ārā. Nē, vienkārši sāk līt, viss aiziet, viss beidzās. Tā kā šitas baigi palīdzēt.
Cik tur cipars bija? Es tā arī īsti nesaklausīju. Kaut kādi 100 euros, cik metriem bija?
380 kaut kāds pa metru, vai kaut kas tāds.
Par metru?
Jā. Es tā sadzirdēju. Man liekas, ka es pareizi sadzirdēju. 370 vai 380, bet pa metru, jā.
Jā, nē, protams, ka tas atsver to, kas, paliek pirms ūdens, jā, bet zaudējums tas sedz noteikti. Jā, bija iedomājis, ka tas ir bišķi lētāk, bet
Princips tagad ir saprotams, paņemam paletes, saliekam kopā, izklājam plēvi un bliežam. Kāpēc jāmaksā pa 300 eiro?
Jā.
Ko bliež? Kā tu teici?
No paletēm?
Tu man brīvprātīgos iestājos, tikko kā. Tu būs pirmais, kā mēs uzvadīšu.
Eku skolēni vai 3D printeriem drukā.
Jā. No paletēm var taisīt. Principā.
Vajag jāsprātīgi.
Tas princips ir īstenībā diezgan vienkārši likās. Tas ieķer sakabē un jā, bet neesam netestējuši neko, un tur tās atseicis vēl bija. Es saku, es uzreiz, piemēram, iedomājos, ka tiešām, labi, es nezinu, kā jums ar mazu upīšu tīrīšanu, jo, mums, piemēram, tāds Ābols ir, ja, kur katru gadu laivu braucēju un vispārējais, un tad, kad viņš jātīr, tad tur ir, līdz padusēm ūdenī, un te, kaut ko tur izvāc, uz bebirdamus ārā, noliec šitādu sēti iepriekš, tev tur ūdens noskrienās, un faktiski tu vari, reāli apkopt, izkopt, piemēram, kaut kādu vietu vai vēl kaut ko, tādā ziņā. Bet man nav, kā Ilzē, jā, tās ir pavasaros ir sevišķi, ja tas viss man bišķiņ savādāks, mums ir cits problēmas.
Tur laikam vajag iedot, dabūsim to izcenojumu, tad kaut kā vajag savākt. Tā kā mēs tur sačutojam, tā ir gan pilsētsaimnieki, tā ir izpildvāri, tie cilvēku aizsardzības, caka cilvēki. Šito vienkārši vajag nodemonstrēt un parādīt, un viss. Jānis, lai pēc tam koordinē tālāk, ja tur kādam tā interesi ir un tā, jo valstiski jau, protams, parādīt ir vugdeniekiem, zemesardzē nekāda vaina, arī būtu ļoti labi, ja viņi redzētu to, jo arī lokāli līdz ar to, es domāju, ka pat arī zemesardze priekš sevis nopirktu paši, ja godīgi arī vugdenieki paņemt sev nopirkt, jo es zinu, ka vugdenieki mani saprakušies viņi saprakušies citu mehānismu, viņi tādas tā kā liek kopā tāds tēveidi, tāds klik, bet viņš nav tik labs kā šis, tur nav tik vienkārši. Bet jā, viņiem tur budžetos kaut kādas naudas ir, tad jau es tikai priecīgi būtu, ja zemesardze nopirkt, tas katru reizi varat aizņemties no viņiem atkal. Tad, ka viņiem nevajag, jā. Labi, viņš atsūtīs. Jānis man uzčatoja paralēli, es viņu pazīstu šausmīgi sen. Es pat nevarēju saprast, no kurienes kādā sakarā es viņu tik sen. Es viņu kopā strādāju. Latviļkomā, pareizi. Viņš man darbinieks bija Latviļkomā. Pareizi. Pēc tam es viņu vilku kaut kur līdz projektos vēl. Jā, es viņu sen pazīstu. Interesanti, ka viņš pārsvēries uz citu sfēru, bet parasti viņš bija IT tomēr saistīts.
Vajag pārliecināt zemesardzi, ka viņiem tādu vajag.
Man nav problēma pārliecināt, galvenais, lai naudu atrod. Es ātri nopārdot.
Ja? Viņam nevajag mēģināt tā kā šo mēģināt atrast finansējumu pašvaldību pusē, vajag mēģināt aizsardzības pusē. Un aizsardzības pusē, kā saka, pits nav problēma.
Nu, aizsardzības puse nevienu centu, kiberdrošībai, to tā pludinot uz pašvaldībām, bet vairāk nevienu centu neko pašvaldībām nedod. Tur es jau cik gadus ap to laizos, un pa vienām durīm met ārā, pola met ārā, visur met ārā. Neizdodās tur nekā pārliecāt, bet, man šodien bija tāds interesants sarunas ar jauno premjeru pusi, ka varbūt, ka tur kaut ko sadrudēs tomēr mums. Redzēsim. Vai paspēs kaut ko, bet tā izklausījās tā, neizmet man uzreiz pa logā ārā.
Kādā jomā?
Cilvēku aizsardzībai tīju, ka tur tomēr tajā aizsardzības ministrijā vajadzētu padalīties mazliet no tā lielā piķa, kaut ko tomēr arī mums iedot pašvaldībām.